Hi, it's Ken from Get English Tips here. Welcome along to Get English Tips number 9. Now, in my experience of teaching English, there is one thing that I always notice when I'm in the classroom with my English students. And it's the number one thing I see, and in my experience, why students fall behind in their English studies. When you're going to a class, if you're lucky enough to have an English class, remember the most important thing, that preparation is so important. Never, never, never go to an English class completely cold. Now, what I mean by this is, before the class, when you're going in, is have a look at the notes from your previous class. Now, if you don't do this, it's almost like if you do this, you're going to refresh your memory from the previous class, and you're going to start the class much quicker. And by starting the class much quicker, what I mean is you're going to start thinking in English much quicker. Now, a lot of students, they perhaps go to class maybe once a week, maybe even twice a week if they're lucky. And for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if you're lucky. But for the first 20 minutes, the first 30 minutes, if you haven't revised your notes, you're doing catch up. You're taking a little time for your brain to start thinking in English. If you think of sports people, like the famous ones like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, or from a couple of years ago, David Beckham, they would always practice and they would always warm up before they started playing football. All sports people do it. Why? Because it gets your brain and it gets your muscles, for sports people, to start working as if they are, already doing their sport. And it's the same with language learning. If you're preparing yourself before you go in, you're going to be much fresher, you're going to be much quicker at picking up things, you're not going to fall behind in your studies. And importantly, you're getting value for money. If you're paying a lot of money for your English classes, you're not wasting time, you're not wasting your money by the first 20 minutes by getting yourself warmed up for the class. I'm guilty of it as well. When I was learning the Thai language, I would go to school, Thai school, maybe I think it was 3 times a week. And at the beginning, I never warmed up for the class, which means I was always doing a little bit of catch up, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour before everybody, and I started lagging behind in my studies. And that was a wake-up call for me. It made me realize that I need to, even taking 10 minutes before the class, going through your notes, start speaking in the Thai language. And that really, really helped me start the class much quicker. And of course, my grades improved really well also. And importantly, not just learning and the knowledge, but I actually enjoyed the classes much better because I was involved immediately in the class discussions, and I was involved in and putting my hand up and answering questions in the class. So preparation is always key. And remember as well, to be an expert in anything, it takes, I think they say, about 10,000 hours of practice to be a total expert in any sport or any activity, including learning a language. So the more that you practice, the more that you prepare, the better and quicker you're going to achieve your goals. Yeah, if you want to start the class quicker, if you want to get your money's worth in class, if you want to prepare yourself more, if you don't want to fall behind in your studies, just take 15 minutes, 20 minutes before a class if you can, and read over your notes. Another important one is do your homework immediately. If your teacher gives you homework, do it immediately, or do it as quick as you can after the class. That way your brain is still refreshed from the class. You still have the knowledge there. You're using it immediately. If you don't use it, then you lose it. It's a big expression that I love. And if you don't use the knowledge from the class quickly, you're going to lose it. So this is why it's really important to do things like your homework or activities as quickly as you can after the class. Then before the next class, do some revision. So that's Get English Tips number 9. Never go to a class cold. Always prepare yourself before the class. You'll see the benefits by doing it very, very quickly. So what do you think about this Get English Tips? I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's something that you can take on board if you're not doing it already. It's common sense, isn't it? I appreciate that some students, they don't have the time always to do it, but it's a really good habit to start doing. As a teacher, I always see the difference with students who do it and with students who don't do it. So never go to a class cold. Preparation is always so important when you're doing anything. So I hope you enjoy that Get English Tips number 9. I look forward to seeing you in Get English Tips number 10. If you haven't already done so, please feel free to create your account here and you can take part in the Get English Tips community. So my name's Ken. Bye for now.